What's going on?
Did something happen?
Justin!
Did something happen to Justin?
Is he really my grandson?
Yes, of course he is.
Oh, really? I wouldn't know, because I never see him. Why are you sheltering him from me and the rest of the world? Your parenting practices are very questionable.
I'm not sheltering him from anyone. Whenever we walk around the neighborhood, I make sure he says hello to all of our neighbors. I'm not trying to prevent you from seeing him or anything. We just went over to your house 2 weeks ago.
That's not enough. He's going to know the people in his neighborhood better than he knows his own grandmother? You're being very inconsiderate. Think about how that looks for me.
Mom, listen. We've discussed this before. Wanting to see your grandchild is one thing. It's totally different to want to see your grandson, so you can force him to do what you want. You invited him over saying you wanted to play, but you made him rearrange your living room with you. You tell everyone he's going to Harvard, so you force him to study instead of letting him play outside. It's no wonder he doesn't want to come over that much.
What are you saying? How dare you talk to your mother-in-law that way?
Trust me, I want Justin to have a good relationship with you. But that's not going to happen if you keep making him do things he doesn't want to do, because you think it's right.
Are you doubting my judgment? You're such a naive, foolish woman. I've been on this earth far longer than you have. I know what's best for him. You're really failing as a parent. I think you have a lot to fix about yourself before you can continue to raise your son.
Yeah, okay. I'll get on that.
Anyway, did the doctors give you a due date? I heard from Oliver. You're pregnant, aren't you? Why wouldn't you tell me once you found out?
Oh, sorry. Things have been pretty crazy since we found out.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You have too many flaws to count. Make sure you fix your faults before your second child enters this world. I'll just say this once. You better have a girl, or else.
What is that supposed to mean? I have absolutely no control over if it's a boy or a girl.
I don't want to hear that. What's gonna happen if you have another inconsiderate boy like Justin? This world needs more women, not nasty boys. Also, I'll be the one to choose her name. Don't you dare try and tell me otherwise.
Excuse me? You can't be serious.
I've always wanted a little daughter of my own. It's not my fault I got a divorce before I could have one. Oliver is my only child. I guess technically you're my daughter, but I don't consider you my daughter. Let me have this one little thing. Won't you let me make my dream come true?
So basically you're saying, shut up, I'm going to choose your daughter's name. Is that about right?
Exactly.
Wow. The parents of a child are the ones who name it.
A mother-in-law's word is final. Everyone knows a daughter-in-law must listen to anything her mother-in-law asks. I won't listen to any back talk. It's already decided. I'll be coming with Oliver to visit you in the hospital and to let the doctors know which name I've chosen. Tell me immediately once you know if you're having a boy or a girl. Have I made myself clear? You're having a boy?
Yes.
I told you that I wanted you to have a girl. You're useless. I heard Oliver was so disappointed, like I was.
Mom? I don't care if I have a boy or a girl. No matter which it is, I'll love them the same. I've never seen Oliver like that before. He went into a rage, and was screaming at the top of his lungs.
He did that?
Yes, he did. He was screaming, "Why isn't it a girl? Do something, you pathetic excuse for a doctor." He grabbed the doctor by his jacket and screamed in his face. It took 4 nurses to get them separated. Then he directed his anger at me. He screamed at me until he lost his voice, then stormed out and went home. He went bat crazy just because we aren't having a girl? He didn't listen to me at all. Maybe if you talked to him, you could calm him down?
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
What?
Well, based on what you're saying, Oliver did nothing wrong. He feels the same way I do. We both want a girl. I tried telling that to the doctor too, but I guess he didn't listen. I've been calling him every day.
You have? What do you think he could do?
Of course I've been calling him. What good is he if he couldn't make you have a girl? Oliver's reaction is only natural. A hospital is nothing more than a service, and we're the customers.
Are you insane? I can't believe this. Do you really think the doctor could do anything about me having a boy or a girl?
Nonsense. I did my research. Science and medicine have come a long way. Shut your mouth if you don't know what you're talking about. Ugh, another boy. Have you thought about terminating it?
Absolutely not. What's going through your head?
All right, then I guess we have no other options here. You need to give that baby a sex change.
That is the most insane sentence I've ever heard anyone say.
Why? People do it all the time. I was born a boy, but in my heart I'm a girl, blah, blah, blah. Haven't you heard anyone say that? People get surgery for it all the time. We're just going to save time and do it right after he's born. Don't worry, I'll pay for it all. That's what I decided, and my word is final. Understood? Claire? Are you listening?
Yeah. I just had to go and throw up.
Ah, don't try and fake morning sickness. You're not fooling me. Everyone knows there's no such thing as morning sickness with your second child.
It's not morning sickness. What you just said literally made my stomach turn over and made me sick.
What do you mean?
I've never heard anyone say something so horrible and disgusting as changing a baby's gender the second it's born. Aside from the fact that you've gone and decided that selfishly on your own, do you think there's any doctor on Earth who would perform that surgery?
Ugh, there's another one of your flaws coming out. You have no idea what the modern world is like. I told Oliver not to marry you. I wish he would have listened. If you don't change that attitude, I'll be forced to take drastic measures.
Go ahead. I'm sick of talking to you and listening to your ridiculous and horrific demands. I'm not listening to another word.
Claire, is everything okay?
What do you mean? Yeah, everything's okay, I guess.
What's with all this stuff that just got sent to our house?
I don't remember sending you anything.
It's not a package. It's suitcases and boxes. It just showed up.
What do you mean?
Huh? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Not a clue. I'm working right now. What do you mean boxes and suitcases?
A moving truck showed up and unloaded about 10 boxes and suitcases. They're labeled clothes and furniture. I opened one of the boxes, and your clothes and bags and a bunch of other stuff were inside. It looks like it was all just thrown in. None of it is folded.
What?
Do you have any idea why all this would be sent here? Is everything going all right with Oliver?
Mom, I'm going to come stay with you and Dad if that's okay. I have off the next 2 days.
Of course, no problem. I'm here if you want to talk about what's going on.
Hey, Claire! Did everything make it to your parents' house?
I knew you were behind this.
No need to repay me for the moving truck. It was my pleasure. Of course, Oliver thought it was a good idea, too. We sent over the divorce papers, too. They'll probably arrive tomorrow. Be a good girl and sign them ASAP.
Divorce papers?
Oliver and I haven't decided on anything regarding a divorce. That's something a husband and wife decide, not the mother-in-law.
No need to talk. Oliver's already said that's what he wants. He told me to text you because he doesn't want to talk to you.
Is that so?
Isn't he concerned at all about his children?
Oh. You mean that little brat and the fetus inside you? He said you can have them. He said he doesn't need them anymore. Don't worry, he agreed to pay child support.
Whatever. I'll sign the papers and bring them down to the courthouse tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, would you look at that? As soon as money comes into the conversation, you agree right away. You're not even trying to hide the fact you're after his money.
I don't care about that money. My dad's right next to me and has been reading this conversation. I'm taking his advice to get rid of that pathetic husband and his wretched mother. Money is an afterthought. Plus, my dad said he'd figure something out in regards to money.
Your father said that? As in, your father, the real estate agent, said he'd take care of money? He's never given you or Oliver a cent up until now.
He said he wanted us to learn the value of $1 on our own before he helped us out at all. I respected his choice to not give us any handouts. We never needed any help anyway, because I make a good salary at my job. But now if he helps me financially, I won't need any money from you two monsters.
Well, isn't that nice? Daddy coming in to save the day. Saving you from the evil villains you're making us out to be. That's ironic, since you're the only one who's to blame for all of this. You're the one who just couldn't make my wish come true and have a girl.
I've gotta ask, why are you so obsessed with me having a girl?
Well, isn't it obvious? We'd put her in lessons from a very young age. She'll learn to sing and dance and become a little superstar. Once she gets scouted and becomes famous, she'll thank me by paying for anything I want for the rest of my life. I saw something like that on the news a little while ago. If she has Oliver's genes, she'll be gorgeous. On the other hand, a boy will be completely useless to me.
Unbelievable. You only care about how to use the child for your own personal gain?
Isn't it natural for a child or grandchild to care for the people in their family? If you don't want any child support, that's fine. Don't come running back to us when Daddy runs out of money to give you.
Sure, whatever. In return, I want you and Oliver to never contact me or my family ever again.
There's nothing I want more than to never ever see you again. We get to cut you out of our lives, and we don't need to pay you anything. Oh, what a dream. Well then, there's nothing left to discuss. Have a nice life. You worthless, pathetic woman. Why, hello, Lisa. It's been a while, huh? How you been?
Who's this?
What do you mean? It's me. I had the displeasure of having your daughter marry my son for a little while. It's Deborah.
Oh. I wasn't sure who it was because I thought my daughter very clearly told you never to speak to any of us again.
Trust me, I wish I didn't have to. But there's something I really need to talk to Claire about. For some reason, I can't get a hold of her.
Is that right? So, what could you possibly have to tell my daughter?
Well, Oliver got married last year.
I see. Congrats.
It's nothing to congratulate.
What's that supposed to mean?
His new wife is awful. She doesn't listen to anything I say. She always talks back to Oliver, too. She's too abrasive and dismissive of our advice and requests.
Oh boy, sounds like a real problem.
The worst part about it is she doesn't want to have any kids.
Well, it's becoming more and more common these days for married couples to decide on not having kids.
I don't care about other couples. Isn't it a woman's duty to listen to her mother-in-law's wishes? It's completely unacceptable. So that's what I wanted to talk to Claire about. I was wondering if Claire could take Oliver back.
Excuse me.
In a few years, I think I'm really gonna slow down. I'll need someone to look after me. I don't think this new woman is gonna help me at all.
So, let me get this straight. You want Claire to come back so she can take care of you when you get old and feeble?
Well, not just that. If she comes back, I'll forgive her for having a boy instead of a girl, like I wanted. I won't say anything else about her having a girl. What do you think?
I don't even have to ask her. It's a resounding no.
What?
He's married now. What is he going to do about his new wife?
Well, of course I'll have them get divorced. She's not a good fit at all in this family.
That's what I thought. I don't think there's a woman on Earth that's a good match for your family.
Pardon me?
Actually, I'll put it this way. You and your son are not a good match for my daughter. There's absolutely nothing you can say or do to convince me to let Claire go back.
Is that so? Like mother, like daughter, right? You're both disrespectful. Not to mention, you're both good at getting on my nerves. Fine. I'm never going to contact you ever again.
Really? Oh, that's great.
I don't need a worthless woman who can only have boys.
Oh, by the way, we named the baby Francine.
What?
Claire said she wanted me to be the one who named the baby. It took me a while to think of a name, but I really liked Francine. Once she was born, she really did look like a Francine.
What are you talking about? Wait 1 second.
Yes?
Your daughter had a boy, didn't she?
Nope. It was a girl.
What?
You didn't know?
Of course not. The doctor said that she was having a boy.
Oh, that's right. Turns out the first ultrasound didn't get the best view of the baby. After the third checkup, the doctor confirmed she was having a girl. Ugh, she's the cutest little girl on Earth. She really resembles my daughter. Oh.
I don't believe you. I know you're lying to get on my nerves. I'll have to come over there and see for myself.
Do not come anywhere near us. If you really don't believe me, I could send you a picture. Oh, never mind. Not gonna happen. We've decided as a family to keep my granddaughter's identity private. There are a lot of crazy people in the world. You being one of them.
Did she really have a girl?
Yes, she did. Speaking of little Francine, I have to go pick her up from preschool.
Wait a second.
Okay.
Lisa, please.
What?
My life these days has been miserable because of my son's new wife. My son doesn't do much for me anymore either. There's a chance they might kick me out of their house.
Oh.
I was hoping you could welcome me into your family.
Oh.
It's not fair. Why do you get to see your grandchildren every day? They're my grandchildren too.
Oh, are you trying to become a comedian or something?
It's not a joke. I'm being serious. Please, just try and convince Claire to change her mind.
Give me a second to think about that. Absolutely not. You'll never be a part of this family, you psychopath. Have you already forgotten what you put my daughter through?
Stop. That's all in the past. Water under the bridge. I want to see my grandchildren.
You're the one who didn't care about what happened to them. We have no obligation to let you see them.
You're such a stupid woman, aren't you? You're so selfish. Keeping your grandkids all to yourself. You're horrible. How do you expect a woman like me to live on my own if they kick me out of their house? If anything happens to me, it's your fault.
Oh, you'll be fine. I actually came up with a great idea.
What is it?
Get a sex change. Science and medicine have come a long way.
Shut your mouth! I'm going to block your number if you say stupid things like that. Lisa, are you there?
After that, my ex-mother-in-law came to my parents' house to cause a huge ruckus. We knew that this day would come, which is why we moved 2 years earlier. We feel bad for the new owners of that house. According to what my mom heard, Oliver and his new wife really did end up kicking her out of their house. Now she lives on her own in a dirty shoebox apartment, burning through her savings and crying about her miserable life. My husband really didn't choose his wife carefully. She doesn't work or do anything around the house. In fact, she has a pretty nasty gambling habit, and she's destroyed them financially. Not only that, she's been sleeping with every guy in town. My husband is working himself to death to keep them from going into debt and from doing everything around the house. He changed his number and texted me, "Please come back to me," which, of course, I ignored. I would never leave the loving care of my two parents, who have been really helping me raise my children. Things are much more peaceful without those two monsters in our lives.